Mama says, son, you can't hold a job. You better buy a gun and go out and run. Get yourself a guitar and learn how to play. Yeah, that rock and roll that's stealing our nation. Said, she said, the work it ain't hard and the hours ain't long. I make more money than gold just for singing a song. Give a little leg and make a girl go crazy. Yeah, rock and roll like taking candy from baby. Say, rock and roll ain't never been no crime in the States, and it's the very thing y'all have made Britain great. Money for nothing, yeah, you goddamn straight. Yeah, rock and roll like stealing our dishes. She said, Mama says, son, you can't hold a job. You better buy a gun and go out and run. Get yourself a guitar and learn how to play. Yeah, rock and roll like stealing our dishes. Rock and roll like stealing our dishes.
That's a sound you don't hear too often. It's fantastic. It's Cajun rock. That's a band called CC Adcock, Cajun Blues from Lafayette. And that's a song called Stealing All Day. Can you imagine it?
I don't like this. What are you listening on?
Stop pointing your finger at
No,
me
but
like that.
look.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing... You're doing that.
No, I'm not. I'm just sitting here, mind my own business.
Well, what's wrong with you?
The sound is dire.
What do you mean the sound is
But
down?
I changed my headphones. Hold on, stop. Do you hear that?
It's not me. It's you doing that.
No. Oh, here. I know what it is. So it's headphones. You see, I know what it is. You've got the head. Oh, jeepers! You've got the headphones far too high.
I haven't touched
And they're
any
causing.
of it.
They are.
Is that better?
Yes, that's a bit better.
Sound like a doctor. Is that better, son?
Yeah, but turn them right down. Turn them down more. That's it. Now.
Is
No,
that
it's too low down.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah.
Is that it there?
But they're too high. What?
Okay. They're very sensitive today.
Yeah.
Somebody's been in here. I know what's happened here. Because of the swinging and indeed whinging complaints yesterday. Somebody has sneaked in here under the dead of night and made some adjustments and haven't told us. Try to cover their back. So I think what's happened, we come in here and we do what we normally do, and suddenly we're deafened, and the things are going shh, shh. But are you okay now?
Yeah.
But can you imagine that? MTV Awards, November the 6th. The whole world comes here. By behind the bar, this woman comes up, dressed as a coffin. So what about you, love? Can I have a drink, please? What's your name, love? I'm Lady Gaga. Sorry, love, the bar's closed at 12:30. Sorry, love, no exceptions. I'll tell you what.
Tell me what's
I can give
happening
you a
about the
bottle of
bar. What I heard very briefly about the licensing law, is it?
Closing the bar at 12:30.
On what night? Is it a Saturday night?
I can't. That's Sunday night, I think it is.
Wouldn't be a Sunday night.
It's November 6th. Sunday night it is, yeah.
Is it?
It's a Sunday night.
And they're closing the bar at 12:30.
Yes, can you imagine it? I love this country. Would you imagine? And apparently, well, I'm not going to say anymore because I don't know. But it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, love. I'd love to give you a drink. Tell you what, I know a fellow, a taxi driver there. Look, he'll go and get you a bottle of wine, and you just give him an extra $5, and he get you a pack of fags as well. Here, phone a cab. Yeah, Jim, go on here looking at a drink. Bring a bottle of Concord and 20 Mayfair.
But have you
I'll
noticed
give you
that
extra
you have
$5. Look, it'll be all right. I can vouch for her. Your name is, what's her name? Lady Gaga. That's all right. No, it's a funny name, isn't it? Jeez, but I don't know. Some of these names, these people here. Dubbies, is here as well. And William. All the employees, you know. All rappers. Tell you what, bring 2 bottles of Concord. I'll tell you what, make it 40 Mayfair because some of them might want a wee smoke, you know. They're all out there. There's all like snow out there, so it is.
If she had a husband, let's say she had a husband.
Mr. Gaga.
What would he be? No, she's Lady Gaga. So what would he be, sir?
Lord Gaga.
Lord, he'd be Lord. Lord Gaga.
So the best one I ever heard, I told you about the best one I ever heard. I was in a hotel in London one time. It's the Kensington Hilton, actually, down in Holland Park. Very nice hotel. BBC people stay there because it's dear.
Yeah.
And I was at the...
What about the girl? Eh? Oh, sorry for interrupting you. I really am sorry. I'm sorry about this. I know you're in full flow, but Betty has to go and play badminton, and she's on one.
And this is stopping me telling the story.
Yeah, but she's got a badminton court booked.
That's not my responsibility.
Yeah, but Emma told me to get this call on immediately.
I'll finish the story later.
Yeah.
Then.
What story is it? I'll make a note. No, what? Seriously, what?
I'll remember what it is.
The Kensington Hotel.
Kensington Hilton.
Kensington Hilton.
Make a note of that.
Kensington Hilton.
Come back to me on it.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, Betty.
Hello, Gerry.
I believe you've booked a badminton court, and that's very hard to say at this time of the morning. Betty's badminton court is booked.
Yes, we played 10:30, Gerry, and I'm just holding on to speak to you.
The shuttlecock awaits. Okay, then tell me what do you want. It's so urgent it stopped me telling the story.
Well, Gerry, I have a fox coming taking my hens. And I want to see if there's someone that could give me a loan off or make me a fox trap. Not a snare, now the fox trap where they can go into, you know. Because I took another one yesterday after lunchtime.
Cheeky monkey.
No, isn't it?
Cheeky monkey. I can't think of I've never heard of a fox trap.
Yes, there
I've
is.
heard of a foxtrot. I've never heard of a fox trap.
Yes, there is, Gerry.
Well, you know, it's a pity. What?
Is it the vixen or the fox?
Have you sexed this fox?
No, but someone will come and take one. Either the vixen will come and take a single hen, there's a bird, chicken.
Right, yeah.
But the fox comes and kills everything.
Aren't men the same?
I think that's the way it is.
Women will just take what they want. Men will just take everything. Give
Well,
them a nice little stick of yard.
Betty, do you want to trap the fox and then take him and release him somewhere?
Yes, I give them to someone else then
You'd like trap the fox and bring it upstairs to your bedroom and torture it.
Oh no, couldn't do that, Gerry.
No.
Couldn't
What a
do
great
that.
laugh. Give us that laugh again. Go on.
Oh no.
Go on.
No.
Give us that laugh again. Go on.
Oh, Gerry.
How many hens have you, Betty?
I must say, Gerry, now, there's days that I am sort of down at times as everybody is, and once I start listening to your show, I start to laugh, and I go down the road at times and laughing away, And I say, if people sees me in the car, they'll think there's something wrong with me.
That's lovely, Betty.
But you
Thank
have
you.
a fantastic show to lift up people, Gerry. I must tell you that. Now,
Thank
you
you
and
very
Sean
much.
both.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Even Sean as well.
You're a great item together, you definitely are. Now, but you need to get on with my thing about the fox now, because the girls are waiting on me.
Okay,
Where are
then.
you playing, Betty?
Up at Bert.
Bert. I played in Bert.
You mean
Did
Bert
you?
County
I did
Donegal?
indeed. I played in Bert.
Bert, let's hold on a minute.
I played
You don't think I'm talking about
badminton.
Bert Lancaster? Bert and County Donegal. Don't
Yes,
assume
I'm
that
out
everyone
of
knows where.
Bridgend, Gerry.
Bert is a small village
Yes.
outside of Derry, Stoke, London, Derry. You
Yes.
have to explain where these places are. There's people down in Enniskillen don't. He's like, Bert, I've been to Bert. I've been to Bert. People don't know where Bert is.
Well, I'm
okay.
here at
That's-
Bridgend, Gerry.
See.
Bridgend.
Yes.
Many,
And I-
many courts are there in
Oh,
the
it's just up in our hall.
it's just the one court, isn't it?
Yes, up in the
it's
church
right.
hall
Yeah, I
we play
remember.
on Thursday
I remember playing that.
There'll be a lot of talk now about various small places that no one else knows anything about. It shouldn't last too long because Betty's in a hurry to go. They should be finished now. I'll just get back to
No,
it.
I
in a minute.
played. That's
Betty
the one,
has to go,
That's
Sean.
the one. I would love to play badminton again.
Betty has to go, Sean.
Well, anytime, Sean, you can come out and join us on a Thursday morning at Bert.
That Bert?
Loved.
Yes.
I loved it.
Okay, thank you, Betty.
Okay, you get that over for me now.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Gerry.
I will, Betty. Anyone who can help Betty, who's got any means of capturing a fox, she calls it a fox. That's what the army used to say. No, you say foxtrot.
Foxtrot. That's
Foxtrot. Foxtrot. What was the other?
right.
Foxtrot.
Alpha Foxtrot India.
Alpha Foxtrot India. Alpha Foxtrot India. Foxtrot. Alpha India. India. Andy Foxtrot. Anyway, anyone who can help that lady with foxtrap. I can't say foxtrap. It's say it.
not?
Have you trouble saying foxtrap?
Foxtrap. Don't think so. Foxtrap.
Foxtrap.
No.
I have trouble with it. Foxtrap. Okay.
Did
right
you
then.
ever play? Now, I just want to get back to that little hall, and then we'll move on. Did you ever play there
play where?
as a band? And the band? Did you? Was there dances never in that hall?
Oh, there was the Fowler Hall in
No. We're talking about the Burt Hall.
Burt Hall. No.
No, it's okay. That's okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Speaking of which, you mentioned Bridgend there. There's a thing on in Moville in County Donegal this weekend. It's a Dylan Fest.
Yeah.
A lot of people are interested in that. Where a lot of people gather and sing Dylan songs, and they've all kinds of Dylan impersonators who come along. It's on this weekend. Anyone who's interested, it's on. I think it starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and may go into Monday. Is Monday a bank holiday in the south?
Sure, I wouldn't know.
Okay, whatever it is, and I looked at the poster, but it was incomplete. It said "Stuck in Moville"
Stuck in I'm lost in that one. Sorry.
with the Bridgend Blues again. That was this Bob Dylan song "Stuck in Mobile."
All right.
So they should say "Stuck in Moville" with the Bridgend Blues again.
Kensington Hilton Hotel.
Kensington Hilton Hotel. I was in the lobby having a little drink, of course, looking around me, and there was people who every once in a while there'd be an announcement. We're talking about Lady Gaga, and what her husband would be called. Mm-hmm. And I had heard somebody had said to me that Meatloaf was staying.
Ach, not that story.
I like
That story.
Don't stop me. I like that story. There are new listeners.
I'll tell you what to do. I'll
all
tell
the
you. I'll
listeners
tell you
have
what to
died.
do. Why don't you just stop it there and get people to ring in and give the anthem?
No, that's been sarcastic.
No, but I'm telling you now.
No, that's been sarcastic. It's been nasty. There are
It's
new
not.
listeners. There are new listeners now since I told that story last. Many of the listeners have died. So I'm going to say this. Whilst I was sitting there, over the announcement came, over the telephone call for Mr. Loaf. Telephone call for Mr. Loaf.
I think you told
Do you not like that's funny?
No, it was different the last time you told it.
Telephone call for Mr. Loaf. Get it?
I think
Meatloaf. Good morning, Meat. No, I've actually said, what's your name? Meatloaf. Call me Meat.
No, there was something.
Call me Mr. Loaf. Anyway, a gentleman says to me, I've got a little note there. A gentleman says he came up to our city over the weekend to see the opening of the Peace Bridge. And he came on the train. He said he thought he'd never get it. And he said, I was doing this morning. He said, can I compose a verse of that song? What do you call that song that mentions you in it?
As the train pulls out today from Derry City.
So he asked me to compose another verse. So I've composed another verse. This is it. As the train crawls out today from Derry City, 20 miles an hour to Belfast, that you should have a beard already is such a pity. You could have grown one on the train to pass the time.
should have been Belfast then.
You were waiting for it. You see what I did there?
Train to Belfast.
No, but I went the other way.
Ah, you did?
No, I went the other way.
Yeah.
You see, because sometimes when there's an obvious verse coming up, you go the other way. I always do that. Here, listen, there's a gentleman here upset. Gerry, my world as I know it has ended. Someone has removed from YouTube the video of giant haystacks throwing Jackie Fullerton down on the studio floor. Somebody's removed that. Could you believe that? Somebody's removed that from
That's on
YouTube.
a long, long time.
I know, but it should have been there until hell froze over. Yeah. Okay, he may have nearly broken Jackie's back, but let's face it, Jackie got a new heart and a singing career, and Giant Haystacks is now dead. So, Jackie got the last laugh, which is more than I'll now get. When I was depressed, I used to watch that clip over and over again and wet myself laughing. Thanks a lot, YouTube. That man feels as if something's been taken away from him. Look at this. 2 people from our childhood have passed away, on a serious note. 2 people from our childhood passed away. Ottilie Patterson. Remember Ottilie Patterson? Singer, jazz singer. Long, long time ago in the 50s and 60s. She was from Belfast, and she was a wonderful, wonderful blues singer. And she sang with Chris Barber. She died there. And also is dead Harry Thompson. Do you remember Harry Thompson?
Harry. Yeah.
Harry Thompson used to talk like that.
Harry was a great boxing man, so
Harry
he
was a great boxing man.
Yeah.
And he did Seen Around 6, and he said, I'm nobody's hack. These are great people.
Who does Harry work for, apart from the... What
BBC?
Paper?
I don't think it...
He was a newspaper man, wasn't he? A journalist?
I don't know. Was he not...
I don't know.
A commentator, well known for his sport and political broadcasting.
Yeah.
He was at one time presenter of Seen Around 6.
Yeah.
Seen Around 6. The Sullivan Boomer, handing you over to Harry Thompson. And BBC John Bennett says Harry was an established broadcaster when I joined the BBC in the 1960s. John Bennett's been in the BBC since 1960. That's even longer than us.
Funny enough, I was watching, just a couple of weeks ago, I was watching a recording of Charlie Nash fighting for the European title, and afterwards he was interviewed by Harry Thompson.
By Harry Thompson. Well, Charlie.
Harry was a great
How do you
boxer,
feel
man.
after your ordeal? You did very well. That little... who was he fighting?
Evander Hulk or something.
Evander Hulk or someone,
like that.
I believe you're fighting.
I don't know.
Well, Harry was great, so there we are. See, do you know what I'm going to tell you?
John's on one.
They're falling like flies. We'll be next. I'm telling you.
That's
Who's
why
on one,
I'm going very soon. I'm leaving you very soon.
You mean to that great
no
golf club in the sky?
I decided. Funny enough,
Are you resigning from the BBC?
yesterday, I decided it's time to go. And as I sat eating my porridge this morning, I says I might make an announcement on the wee show
Do you mean to go to the toilet?
as to when I'll go. No, I might
Are you
retire.
serious?
Yeah, I might retire.
Retire.
Yeah, I might pack it all in. I just feel that way. I feel it's been dragged out of me. You know, the spark's gone. I think it's time to hit a ball. I think it's time to hit a ball up the fairway.
Spark is gone 15 years ago.
I know, but it's really gone now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Many of the listeners will be delighted.
I know that, so I think it's...
I want you to think this over because, after all, you know, many's a man made a rash decision to
I
retire.
know
and
that.
then
That's
found
why...
himself looking out the window of the rain.
This has been festering in me now for the past number of months, and I think, nah.
Well, you haven't got enough money.
I know. That's
What are you
what's
gonna
keeping
do?
me. That's the only thing that's keeping me.
What about your pension pot?
Or should I be out and strike today? Is everyone
I think you
striking about
should.
their pensions?
I think you should. I think you've been treated abominably.
So do I.
And so have I. I'm going out and strike. That's it. Let's
Everybody eat. Everybody eat.
I've had it.
I want you to reconsider.
Did you talk to John?
No. I want you to reconsider because many's a man makes a noble gesture because of something, maybe some crisis. Any crisis in your life? Crisis? Anything? Do you feel as if you've turned a corner? Do you feel as if something's happened? Have you some milestone? See, this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes when people get to be 60,
Yeah.
and you know, or you know, is it empty nest syndrome? Because all your girls have gone now. haven't
Yes,
they?
yes.
Well, see, is it empty house syndrome?
No, it's
you and
not
her
that.
rattling about the house.
It's not that. No,
No, but sometimes I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying
No,
sometimes.
I know you're trying to help. I know you're
trying
trying
to
to.
help.
I know you're trying to because you're a former counsellor. And,
Don't call me a counsellor.
It's
Social
with great
worker.
pleasure I open this pledge today because, after all, there are many, many people who do not meet each other because some are Protestants and others are Catholics, and they don't like coming over this bridge. So I tell you what I'll do.
I shall open this bridge, and yous shall all get together naturally. Vote for me next time round. I am great.
What about John?
I want you to reconsider.
What?
Because many's a man made a grand gesture, and maybe you just felt as if you had to say something. Maybe you just don't like me today.
No, I do.
No, but sometimes you don't.
I
And
know, but
sometimes
if I felt it didn't like you, I would tell you.
I know, but
You know.
you've never liked me, so it's an understood thing. So you might say to yourself, I don't like that wee shite in there. I'm
No.
leaving. You could do that, but then you see, you would do that and you'd get great fun out of it. But then a week later, when you're sitting looking out the window and the rain's bouncing off the window, and you're sitting reading a dirty journal, and you're going, no.
No, you see, I was.
And you buy a cap.
No,
You buy
I
a
was
cap,
talking
and then
to
you
a
get them, you know, them
man.
white shoes that you wear,
No,
all the
no,
big
no.
soles on
No,
them.
I've other things. A man.
You play golf.
No, a man.
Must do, but
I talked to a man on the bridge the other night, on the Peace Bridge. A man that from my past, from my long distant past, and we were talking, and he was ever so happy.
that you were leaving.
No, he was ever so happy.
And he's not doing anything.
No, he's doing. He works 1 day a week now, and he
So
says,
you can't work 1 day a week.
"Oh, but he said that to me. He says I can get enough in 1 day." He said, "Now to do me." I says, "That's right," because I knew what he was at. You see, I says, "That's right."
What is he, a pickpocket?
So he says, "Give me a call sometime."
Well, he's going to employ you 1 day a week.
He says, "Give me a call sometime."
Is he a window cleaner?
No, we used to dabble together. And he's planted a seed, and I says, "Yeah, I need a new direction. I think that's what it is. I need a new direction. You know, I need to go a different road in the morning when I come out of the house." You know?
Well, you see, if you weren't married, you'd be coming from a different direction every morning. I want you to think carefully about
All
this, because
right.
it means that I have to go out and get somebody else to talk to.
All right.
I
Then.
can't be bothered.
What
with
about John? Talk
Where
to
is he?
John.
Where is he?
He's on one.
Is he?
Yes.
Morning, John.
Good morning, Gerry.
Mr. Coyle has resigned.
Hello, Gerry.
Would you like a job? Yes, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Well, here, I'll tell you what it is. I don't like to call you a liar. I think I'm going to call you a fibber.
Go ahead.
Now, you're a good friend of Chris Christopherson's.
I was indeed.
Well,
Mistake.
you told me a lie.
I told you a lie?
Yeah, you told all your audience a lie. You said he was coming in August.
Well, he's coming to do that film.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought he was coming to sing.
No!
I went to see him a couple of times in the waterfront, and the man was pure class. And then I got all excited, and I texted my daughter, I rang my daughter, and she looked it up, and he said there was no more tours coming up.
No, he's doing a film, Paperboy.
Was I?
Yeah, the author was in here one day and told me about it. They're filming. He's playing the part of the fellow who employs the paper boys, but he's an American who stayed here during the war, after the war.
Yeah, we should have made that clear.
I'm making it clear now. You never asked me before.
Aye, but that's not the point. You know, I get all excited. You know, and at my age, I shouldn't get excited.
Well, you may as well, because you mightn't get excited too often before you die. You may as well get excited every chance you get. All right, then. So don't you worry about that. I'm going to try and get him in here for a good chat. Maybe he'll sing us a song.
Oh, that'll be great. And
I'll
would
tell
you
you
get him to
what.
give me a signed photograph?
No, I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. If indeed he comes in here, we'll probably do it in Belfast, right?
Yes.
I want to invite you into the studio.
Oh, boys, that'll be powerful.
You keep in touch. If
I
you
will
ever-
indeed.
If you ever hear me saying that, invite you into the studio and you can sit and have a chat. But don't be annoying him.
Oh, no, I won't know. Oh, no, I think a man's pure class.
Okay, then we'll do that. Now you keep that in mind. If we get Chris Christopherson in here, you're coming in to see him.
Oh, boy, that'll be... that is my dream, but I queued up one night to see him on the waterfront, and somebody else got in front of me, you know, and there was somebody in a wheelchair, and I was going to throw her out of the wheelchair, and then I says, no, that wouldn't be a nice thing to do.
Not really.
No.
Maybe on second thoughts, don't be coming in at all. We'll contact you, seriously.
God bless you, Gerry.
God bless you.
Keep it up.
Bye. Oh, this is the wrong song. I'm sorry. Have you seen this album by Dermot O'Connor?
No, he plays football.
Did he? Well, this is a singer-songwriter. It's a very good song. I'm going to play a little track of this. Have we time for this? I'll play some of it.
And it's been far too long since something...
No, it's the wrong thing. He's got an album called Gravity. It's really, really nice. This is the title track. It's called I Fall in Love Too Easily. We're not going to get to the end of this, but I'll play another track before we finish up today. And I'll play another one tomorrow. I think this is really nice.
I guess I fall in love too easily. Amazing beauty overpowers me. Just one look from you was all it took. You smiled and said hello, and I was hooked. I guess I wear my heart upon my sleeve, bruised and battered for the world to see. The moment that I looked into your eyes, my feelings for you I could not disguise. I guess I fall in love too easily. I can feel my heartbeat when you're near me, bum bum bum. Only you can take away the rain. All I'll ever want is to be near you, bum bum bum. Tell me, darling, that you feel the same. I guess I fall in love too readily. I don't know what it is you do to me. I took you walking on a moonlit night. The stars were shining, I was hypnotized. I guess I wear my heart upon my sleeve, bruised and battered for the world to see. The moment that I looked into your eyes, my feelings for you I could not disguise. I guess I fall in love too hastily. When you're gone, I'm in misery. Yesterday I barely knew your name, and now my life may never be the same. I guess I fall in love too easily. Too easily. Too easily. I guess I fall in.
On 92 to 95 FM,
and 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock, I'm Anne-Marie Foster. The police are investigating reports of a shooting in North Belfast. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night in Ardley Street. Officers were called following reports of a loud noise and found a strike mark on a house. A soldier in the Irish Army has been charged with raping a woman in Londonderry. 30-year-old Stephen Healy from Meenan Drive denies attacking the woman at a house in the city last year. He was released on bail to appear again in September. The PSNI has clarified its position over a review of the Kings Mills massacre. It had initially indicated that officers would carry out a major review into the murder of 10 Protestant workmen in 1976. However, in a statement, the police now say they have no plans for a serious crime review. The Greek Parliament is debating tax increases and spending cuts which have to be implemented before the country receives an international bailout. MPs agreed the measures in principle yesterday and they'll now vote on the details. Jellyfish have forced a nuclear power station near Edinburgh to shut down. Large numbers of the creatures were found in seawater entering the plant at Torness. From Edinburgh, Colin Blaine reports.
Torness Nuclear Power Station, which is 35 miles down the coast from Edinburgh, depends on plentiful supplies of seawater for the cooling system of its 2 reactors. It's emerged that on Tuesday afternoon, both reactors were shut down because high volumes of jellyfish were found fouling filters, which stop debris and marine animals from entering the cooling system. The plant's operators, EDF Energy, say the decision to shut the reactors down was taken to comply with safety procedures, and there was never any danger to the public.
The music store HMV says its underlying profits fell by 61% last year to £29 million. It's been squeezed by competition from supermarkets and internet downloads. But the group says it should strengthen after selling off its Canadian business and the book chain Waterstones. Sport now, here's Michael McNamee.
It's women's semi-finals day at Wimbledon. Of the 4 players left, only Maria Sharapova has won the title before. She takes on wildcard Sabine Lisicki. That match follows the one on centre court between Victoria Azarenka and Petra Kvitova. Andy Murray says he'll have to improve his game still further as he prepares for his men's semi-final against defending champion Rafa Nadal. Competitive football returns this evening with qualifying action in the Europa League. Cliftonville are in Oswestry for a first leg against the New Saints, while Glentoran have travelled to Macedonia for their first leg with Renova. And Darren Clark, Gareth Mabin and Michael Hoey all tee off later in the first round of golf's French Open near Paris.
Finally, the weather forecast. Here's Jackie McCann.
Showers in the west will continue to migrate eastwards through the first half of the day, with the risk of some heavy downpours. By early afternoon, the showers will be concentrated over parts of Antrim and Down, and it should be somewhat drier in the west. Sunny intervals will also develop, lifting temperatures to 16 Celsius. Most of the showers will fade away during the afternoon, with many places finishing the day on a dry note.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel News.
In Carrickfergus, a lorry has struck a rail bridge at North Street and delays can be expected to trains on the Larne line. On to flights, and at Belfast International Airport, the 2 o'clock EasyJet flight from Alicante has been delayed by 2 hours. And at the City of Derry Airport, this evening's flights to and from Dublin have been cancelled. Aileen Morna reporting.
Travel News on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, you happy to pay a bit towards prescription charges? A survey suggests we would be. It could save about 17 million a year. Is this what the new health minister's planned anyway? I want your calls on that. Should the MTV Awards do a runner? They're set for Belfast, but why should they come when they can't get a drink after 12:30 at night? We're celeb-tastic today. Fiona Bruce from Fermanagh, Dan Snow in Donegal, and then there's the mother-in-law from hell.
When you're a guest in another's house, you do not declare what you will and will not eat, unless you are positively allergic to something.
Just part of an email a woman sent to her daughter-in-law. We want your nightmare mother-in-law experiences. Or maybe you have a daughter-in-law from hell. Call us and join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Have you ever heard the like of it? I mean...
Absolutely never. What?
Daughter-in-law from hell. I mean, for God's sake.
What next, I ask
What
you?
next?
By the way, my sister has hens and they're laying eggs. At the same time of laying the eggs, they're eating the eggs. Can Geordie do anything about it?
Caramba!
Oh, listen, people don't want you to leave.
No. Well, I just said it's there.
A message has flooded in.
Yes?
A message has flooded in saying they don't want you to go.
Oh.
They hope you're joking. I, on the other hand, hope you're serious.
I know. Oh, this is
what?
good.
What?
There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around. The hairs on your arm will all stand up at the terror in each sip and in each sup. For you partake of that last offered cup, or disappear into the potter's ground when the man comes around. Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing, multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum, voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega. Armageddon, no shalom, no shalom. Then the father hen will call his chickens home. And the wise men will bow down before the throne. And at his feet they'll cast their golden crown. When the man comes around, whoever is unjust, let him be unjust still. Whoever is righteous, let him be righteous still. Whoever is filthy, let him be filthy still. Listen to the words long down. When the man comes around, hear the trumpets, hear the piper. 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum. Voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega's kingdom come. And the whirlwind is in the thorn tree. The virgins are all trimming their wicks. And the whirlwind is in the thorn tree. It's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. In measured hundredweight and penny pound. When the man comes around.
It's an unusual cover version. That's a band called Knife in the Water. I hadn't heard of them before, but that's very good indeed, isn't it? Here's a message. A person says, a lady called Vanda, I wonder if you can help me on this one. We are daily listeners to your 90 minutes of therapy each morning. I also download the podcasts. I find them very good to ease the boredom on long journeys. We do a podcast every day. Have we told the listeners that on a regular basis?
No.
We don't really tell them
No.
that. We do a podcast every day. All you do is go on the BBC website, www.bbc.co.uk Radio Ulster Podcasts, and you'll find them there. It's, the best of the programme each day. It's about 12 seconds long. No, it's about 12 minutes of, selected material, which we haven't heard before. I'll usually try and omit the stories that I've told again. I also download the pod. Me sitting with earphones on, laughing, often with tears rolling down my face, means that one is practically guaranteed personal space on public transport as the people edge away. But imagine my dismay when I logged in to update my catalogue on Monday to find that it is now not possible to retrieve podcasts which are more than a week old. Did you know that this was the case?
No, I didn't.
I now have a hole in my library. May is missing. Can you put me in touch with any techno geeks who can help me on this one? I have a big trip to Australia coming up and I need your tones to get me through the 22-hour flight. Big hugs from the mad pair in the sweatshop in Hillsborough, namely Vanda, but does not name the other one. There we are, you see.
Were you ever sent to a laundrette?
I
by
was.
By your
often.
mother?
Do you know where I was sent every Saturday morning? And it's an unusual story, and I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about this the other day.
I know exactly. I know exactly what you're going to say. And I'll tell you what you carried home. Yes. The item was wrapped in brown paper and tied in string.
From the Magdalene laundries.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. But the laundrette, do you remember sitting in the laundrette, waiting for the big drum and watching and playing? And you went down there with your friends. You got a friend. You said, I have to go to the laundrette today. Or else you went with a friend who had to go to the laundrette and you spent an hour or whatever it was. And we knew how to work the machines.
I noticed, can I just pick you up on something? I noticed you're saying, and you've probably done this all your life.
Yes.
And this is something that we all did, but many of us didn't realise we were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying laundryette.
Mm-hmm.
It's laundrette.
Right.
No, but I'm saying I'm not
Yes.
picking you up.
Yeah.
But everybody in Derry used to say laundryette.
Yes.
Because it was like Stormont.
Yeah.
Or Westminster.
Yeah. But we went to laundryette.
It was called laundryette. The first one that... you let me talk.
Oh, right.
The first one that I remember was a great novelty. And it was round the corner from where I lived. And you may remember this.
That's the one we went to.
In William Street.
William Street.
That was the first laundryette.
You're being hateful now, aren't you?
That was the first laundryette in Derry. And it was a great thing. My mother brought me around there and taught me how to do it.
Yeah.
She taught me. And she
No,
said,
somebody, the boy next door, the boy in the laundrette, saying it again, you see, taught us how to do it.
The man in the laundrette taught you how to do it.
Okay. You know, to me, you
Well, my
learn
mother,
from
no,
the
so
person
my mother
in there.
brought me around. She says, "Come around here." She says, "I'm going to show you." She said, "You can be a great help to me," because we had a lot of boarders and lodgers. What do you call them? Lodgers, boarders.
Did your mother do the washing for them?
What do you think, Donna?
Must have been off her
No, the
head.
sheets.
Oh, the sheets. Not shirts and socks.
No.
Oh.
So before that, we used to bring the sheets over to the Good Shepherd Laundry in
Mhm.
Waterside, which was a Magdalene laundry. And I remember, on a serious note, I remember the poor girls. When you went in there, it was quite silent. You went into your little office, you see, and there was never anybody there, and you went, ping, and this nun would come out. And her name would be Sister Stanislaus or Sister Hulda Halja or something like that. And she'd say, hello, good morning, you will. And I'd say, I'm here for Mrs. Anderson's laundry. And she'd say, hold on a second there, hold your wrist. And she'd go out and she'd come back in with a big brown parcel wrapped in string.
Yes.
And I would give her like 2 shillings or something, whatever it was. Then I'd carry it back. Me and the other people with me, we had our little friends. It was a regular Saturday morning pilgrimage. There was no Peace Bridge then, but before we went, there was a big wooden gate there, and we used to always go over and look in. And there was all these girls.
Where?
Behind.
Where's the wooden gate?
On the left-hand side. A wooden gate. You weren't allowed to go there. But
That
you
was
could
the
look for them.
asylum. The asylum had a gate.
Excuse me. The asylum was a completely different building in a completely different part of town.
I know, but that's
On the
where you're
other
getting
side.
it. You're not getting your gates mixed up.
Do you just a gate, not a big gate, a wooden gate like you'd have in front of your house, maybe a wooden gate, but it was high. You couldn't see over it, but there were cracks in the side, and we used to look in, and there's all these girls, and they wore little. I wasn't quite sure of the colour now because I'm partially colourblind. They were either light blue or green. I can't remember. They all wear a little uniform. And I used to think to myself, what are all those girls doing in there? They must all work for the nuns. And they'd be doing, some of them would be doing a bit of gardening, a bit of that. And some of them would be fiddling about doing stuff, and they'd be all hanging about, And it was only later, much later, that I realised what they were. They were all girls who'd had babies and that they weren't allowed out.
But there's a laundry much closer to you. Why do you walk away over there? The waterside?
Because my mother told me to go over there.
But
They did the sheets beautifully.
They did indeed. They did. Did they not do the sheets where you put starch or something?
They were starched.
They're not right.
They were starched, yeah. But anyway, back to the laundryette.
Oh, you're so hateful. I'm going to catch you. It'll come back and bite you.
The Pope has tweeted for the first time. Pope Benedict...
I've never tweeted.
I know you haven't, but the Pope's done it now. You see, it goes to show you the Pope's ahead of you. Pope Benedict XVI has tweeted for the first time. What do you hear this? Announcing the launch of a Vatican News information portal. Vatican's beginning to sound like the BBC. You know the way they talk about cascading down through the information portals here, and we don't know what they're talking about.
A man within the BBC sent me an email this morning giving me a heads up as to what was happening.
And you didn't want a heads up at all.
We're giving you a heads up.
I know, but you could have done without that heads up.
I giggled.
One of the things about that is, did I ever tell you about the time I went to the Vatican?
Yes.
I'll start that again. Did I ever tell you about the time I went to Vatican Radio?
Yes.
Do you want me to tell you again?
Dave's. Do you remember Dave that never got a word in yesterday?
Did I ever tell you what the Cardinal said to me?
Yes.
Let me try that again. Did I ever tell you what the Cardinal said to me off duty when he wasn't on the microphone?
Yes.
Okay, I want to tell it again. I'm going to tell it again because they're new listeners.
Just
stop it!
But Dave's there.
Don't ruin it.
I won't, but Dave's there.
I'll go to Dave in a minute. It was the greatest insight I ever got. And I realised I was right to stop being a Catholic. I was over there doing a programme about Vatican Radio. And it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's the only place I've ever seen, the only radio station, that you had a clock in at the door. Cling! No, we used to do in a factory. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I was interviewing this Cardinal guy. And it was quite a half-serious programme. It covered all kinds of things. And I was asking him all kinds of serious things. And one of the things I asked him was about, it's a controversial matter in Africa. The Catholic Church doesn't really agree with with condoms, and that kind of thing, and which would prevent the spread of AIDS. And it's a very controversial measure, and it still hasn't been resolved. A lot of people think the Catholic Church is wrong in not trying to do that, but the Catholic Church say, of course, you must not use condoms, that kind of thing. So I was talking about that, and I fed up with that, and we talked away about that.
I know the feeling.
And then afterwards, we're sitting having a cup of coffee. This cardinal, I won't identify him. Because it's not fair. And he says, he was Italian. He said, you ask a lot of questions about things that are happening now. I said, yes. He said, we in the Catholic Church, we don't think about, things that are happening. We think in the long term. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, we try not to, we don't think certain things that we think are important now in the news. We don't think that will be important in 100 years' time. We have to think ahead, 100 years' time. I said, well, what's concerning you now at the moment? In long term, he said, we're wondering what would be our approach if we discovered the interterrestrial life. And I went, that would complicate things, wouldn't it? No reaction.
Yeah, I heard it so many times. Sorry, I've heard it.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I'm not appreciated in this program.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. I told them I tell that for the benefit of new listeners who may not know about this. Yes, what can we do for you?
Good morning.
Yes.
Is it time for Wendy yet?
Not yet.
Not quite.
She's talking to celebrities and people about grannies.
Yes.
You can go out safely.
Remember I was on yesterday, boys, about the grey squirrel?
Yes.
Well, just to let you know, we caught one last night.
Did you eat it?
No, we've pre-packed it for you, and we're going to send you up half a grey squirrel for you and Sean.
I don't want it.
No, it's on its way, Gerry. I insist, with a couple of duck eggs. It's on its way.
Don't be sending your squirrel carcasses to me.
Sweet as honey, as Geordie Tuff says, sweet as honey.
I'm not opening it. I'm not. But
you are.
Is it
it's on its way.
Is it refrigerated?
Not at all. You don't want to be doing that.
That's going in the bin before it's up. Any package I get the next 2 days going in the bin.
It's fresh for 3 days. Get it in you tomorrow. You'll be grand.
Stop it. Stop him.
Anyway.
Who put him on?
It's something to ask you.
All right.
Anyway, boys, I'm looking favours. I'll cut to the quick here. I'm involved at Larne Rugby Club, and it's our 100th year in existence next year, and we have a lot of big events coming up.
Yeah.
One of which is we're planning a summer concert, and we're looking at a big headline band, and we were sort of because there's a big variance of ages within the club. Some people want the modern day, some people want to go back in time, so we decided we'd have a bit of a cross section of recent great bands from the province, and the Undertones name came up. Are they still in existence, or Gerry, have you any access to talking to those guys? Can you help us out, point us in the right direction?
There's one of them in front of me now in the other studio.
Is there?
He's part of our team.
Brilliant.
Off the air. I'll give him your phone number.
Oh, excellent.
And he'll contact you. Of course, they're barely alive. They're still alive. Yeah. He's still alive. He's alive, isn't he, Sean?
Yes.
He's alive this morning.
Yes.
Which one's he then?
The bass player, Michael Bradley. He works with us in this program. He doesn't be on the air, but he works. He's in charge. He's in charge of this program, basically.
And do you think for our 100th year that they would be interested in doing a wee reunion?
Well, as far as I know, the Undertones will do anything for money at the moment.
Oh, would they charge us? Would they?
I would say, Dave, and you, a good idea.
Did you hear what he said?
What?
Would they charge us?
Oh, aye. A good idea, maybe if you would go along and introduce them, Gerry.
Well, Gerry,
good idea, Dave.
Gerry, well, we have another favour, because it's our big 100th year anniversary dinner, and we always have a guest speaker next year. And we were just wondering if you would do us the pleasure of bringing Geordie Tuff down to do the guest speaker.
Oh,
you want Geordie to do it?
Oh, absolutely. Nobody understands you down here, Gerry. We need Geordie. He speaks our language,
Well, I have to tell you.
Go on, tell them what you think about rugby clubs. Go on.
We had Logie in there 2 months ago. We had a great time.
Yeah. Can imagine that.
Logie, he's a star.
Well, you see, I have to tell you that my career as an after-dinner speaker, I curtailed it because I realised that life was too short. A man once said to me, why don't you do after dinner speeches? They give you lots of money. So when I did a couple, and I have never, ever been so unhappy. And the last one I did was in a golf club.
But you don't like golf clubs, Gerry. They're a bit up
I
themselves.
certainly do not. And it was the worst experience I've ever had in my life, because they were looking for either a stripper or May McFetridge, and I was neither. So I would guarantee that Geordie would not go down well.
I would. You and Geordie.
No.
You and Geordie, Gerry.
No.
It'd be a great double act. Like it
No.
would.
Get
Well,
the
do you know?
undertones.
I
we
think
tried
that'd
to
be
get-
very funny, alright. I'm inclined to agree with Dave. I think it'd be good, you and Geordie, bouncing off one another.
Yeah,
It'd be
can you
excellent.
imagine that? That would
Yeah,
be
Dave, that'd
Fielding
be-
questions from the audience.
Oh,
You know,
that
because
would
there's plenty
be-
of farmers
that would be
and
fantastic.
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
That would
Yeah.
be great. Yeah.
You'd make a fortune, Gerry. Not out of us, like, but you know, we'd set you up. You know, and any referral fees come to us, obviously. You know.
I'll put you in contact with the undertones, and they can tell you how many thousands of pounds they want.
Well, just tell them to settle down. We've already tried ACDC.
Oh!
They were 1.3 million US dollars, and they want it half up front.
I think that's too dear.
It's a wee bit steep, I thought,
It
but
is indeed, yeah.
we haven't ruled them out.
Far
you know,
too dear.
we'll decide.
We'll put you in touch with an undertone, don't you worry.
Fantastic.
But, as regards myself and Mr. Tuft, we are unavailable at this point in time.
Yeah, well, we tried to get Nuala McKeever this year, but the general feeling was she was too cursed.
Oh, go away.
She was a bit rough for a rugby club.
Go away. Go away.
I'll speak to you in tongues, in distant regions, in a language you might understand. I'll tweak the screws with the words I use in ways you would not believe. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can. Dress you up in robes or different clothes. I will be your king, you'll be my queen. We'll travel carriage with heavy baggage to places you could only dream to see. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can. I'll be your angel's eyes, in truth or in disguise. I'll tear apart the clouds for you, or anything obstructing your view. I'm gonna be the drug you use. No, you won't even be fit to choose. For I am the highwayman. I'm gonna steal your heart any way I can.
That's a band from Northern Ireland called John Edgar Vaux, and I think they're just about the best, I think, that you'll hear. And I think they're going to go a long way. And that's Martin Corrigan singing there. That's on a CD called Western Notes. I'm going to try and get them into the studio here, but they look a bit mad to me. That's a song called Highwayman, but then again, being mad is a good thing. I want some.
Nuala said you're bunching all over the place. You're up and down like a dog's hind leg. Your levels.
I want some of this.
What?
Have you seen the photograph of Jimmy Nesbitt in the paper today?
I did.
Look at his hair.
It's got great hair all of a sudden.
It's got George Clooney's hair. I want some of that.
I think that's who he looks like.
He looks like George Clooney.
He now looks like George Clooney.
And I have to say now, and I hesitate to say this, his face looks different.
Doesn't it?
I think there could be two things. There could be something going on, or else maybe that's the way you look if he's living in New Zealand for a while. Do you know the way? That's where he's living now at the moment. He's doing a movie there, and he'll be there for a year and a half. So he's spending nearly all of his time in New Zealand. And do you know the way when you leave here and go away and come back, you always look better than when you left? Did you ever know anyone who came from somewhere else and came here and went back to where they came from looking better? No. Everybody who leaves here always looks better when they come back. And I have to say that Jimmy Nesbitt is looking fantastic. Now, if I went to New Zealand, I'd come back with hair like that, I think I'd go tomorrow. And his face looks different. He looks fantastic. He's doing a very serious thing there, but, you know, the photograph is a very sensitive thing. But I'm just looking at him. I'm not referring to that.
Has he put on weight, maybe?
No, he just looks...
There's something different about him.
No, he looks great.
Yes.
Look at his hair. I can't believe him. And in the front of the newsletter, people look at that today. Just have a look at that. I'm so angry at him because I want to be him. I want to go away in New Zealand and come back looking like him. Look at the state of me, for God's sake. But I was all right when I came back from my holidays, but now I'm starting to get ugly again. Do you know the way when I come back from my holidays, I'm always very handsome?
Mm-hmm.
And then this place grinds me down. I'm sorry, the bar's closed at 12:30.
There's a man on too.
Good morning, sir. He's not speaking.
Hello, Gerry.
Good morning, how are you?
Is that Gerry?
Yes, it is.
I am unworthy to speak to such a wonderful person like yourself.
No, you're not. I'm just an ordinary person.
Grovel. Gerry, you're turning into a Belfast accent there, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you very much. It's deliberate.
I'm applying for the job.
Of what job?
A coil job.
You see what you've done now? You've encouraged applicants.
There you are.
I don't think he means it. No, hold, Sean, don't say this lightly.
No, the seed is planted.
Can I have the job, please?
I don't know. I'll have to examine you.
Ask me questions.
No. You see, I need to look at you first. I need to see what you look like.
I'm good looking.
Doesn't matter about that.
Does he play golf?
No. Golf players, as Gerry Anderson says, are we small, fat people with big heads.
That's right. Are you not like that?
I hate them.
So do I. Anyway, I would need to look at you to see if you have any character.
I have character.
But you don't know that. A lot of people don't know.
You saved my dog 10 years ago when
I?
she was lost and stolen.
Did I?
You did indeed. And I shook your hand in Great Victoria Street in Belfast, and I thank you for it. And you were the gentleman that had the time to talk to me on the street as a famous person.
I do think I remember that. I do actually.
And I will never forget you, for you're not a big stuck-up snob.
That's right, that everybody thinks
you're a down-to-earth, lovely person.
But Sean,
listen, Sean Coyle, listen, I'm getting sick of him.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You see, when you go on your holidays, Gerry,
yes,
and he gets his wee voice going,
mm-hmm.
He sounds like Graham Norton. He talks too much.
This may be one of the reasons why Sean.
And I tell the girls all the time. See, when you go on holidays, give Emma and Janet a chance on the radio.
You see, this may be...
Yeah.
You see, this is what...
It's a good idea.
No. You see, Sean has been hurt by that.
I'm
not... Well, listen now. If indeed Mr. Coyle hands in his P45, there is a procedure to be gone through. There will be. There will be forms to fill in for the applicants. And I'll just have to take it as it comes. And I can show no favouritism. After all, this is the BBC, and you'll just have to join the queue with the rest of them.
But I'm the best.
Well, you see, you'll have to prove that to be in the interview process.
Well, can we ask him what type of music? Say you were left in charge,
right.
Gerry.
Right.
What music would you play?
Well, there's good tunes out there that you never play.
Go on.
Give me some Pogues. Give me Men That Couldn't Hang. Give me the Saw Doctors. Give me Ghosts Don't Shave.
I'm sorry, our time is up. I'd love to talk to you a little further, but I'm afraid there are other people on the line, and although I admire your choice in music, I don't think I can have you about the place, if I may quote Lord Brookborough.
Or Gareth
Anderson, I don't like you anymore then.
What about Gareth
fired.
Brooks?
Who?
Gareth Brooks.
Puke.
No, listen. Can I say to you,
if you like Gareth Brooks, you go on and take Hugo's job over.
Hugo's job is not available because Hugo's more sense than to go anywhere because he knows there's nowhere to go. Sean, you should know that, Sean. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
Tell me this, Gerry. One wee question.
U105.
There's a lot of dead hedgehogs
There are a lot of dead hedgehogs. Many of them were working for the BBC.
Where are they coming around the street? Where are they coming out of? And their wee faces are scratched. Is cats killing them?
I don't know.
There's loads of them, but their wee faces are scratched off by cats.
No, but you see, are they really? But you see, maybe it's an infestation. I mean, you know that. Give me a hedgehog and you'll see about 1,000 fleas. Maybe the flea population has risen and eaten them to death.
Is that in Belfast, Gerry?
It's in Andersonstown.
Andersonstown. Well, not necessarily well known for its hedgehog population.
Yeah.
Well, maybe perhaps
you
we
get
could
3 dead every day.
3 a day.
I thought the hedges must be living in the hedges or something. But
well, I'll tell you what we can
do.
do.
Wee faces and wee noses are scratched off. It must be cats killing them. Or
No, maybe they scratch themselves because I mean I observed a hedgehog.
Could be
one
rats
day.
killing them.
No, do you know what I think it is? Now, for instance, I had the opportunity. I've got a garden, you see, which nobody ever goes into.
Yeah.
And I have a garden. I don't think I've been into it for like 2 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the hedgehog lived at the bottom of it, and the hedgehog thought that there was nobody living in it. Right? So the hedgehog spent all its time walking around the garden, knowing in its heart and soul that it would never be disturbed or never meet anyone, and he thought it was his garden. So the wonderful thing was, you never get that in any garden. No hedgehog will do that because they avoid humans. Now, I was able to sit and look out my patio windows.
Did you not cut the grass?
Excuse me, my patio windows.
Did you not cut the grass?
No, I got a man to do that every once in a while.
Oh, God love you.
Yeah.
But he never actually saw anybody going out and spending time in the garden.
Oh,
You know,
aye,
the hedgehog would say to himself, "Geez, there's a boy coming to cut the grass. I'll be away in an hour."
Aye.
You see, and then nobody else ever came. So I was able to observe him, and he spent 99% of his time scratching his arse.
He cannot. Not be all his spikes. How can he scratch himself?
I'm telling you.
How does he put it? What does he scratch it with his wee front
Back
leg or
leg.
his back leg?
Back legs. He's going all the time.
He'd rip the paw of himself.
Well, apparently what happens is there are so many fleas that they spend 95% of the time scratching themselves. And if there's any increase in the flea population, it goes over the line. And this is what might have happened because of the...
Listen, Mr. Anderson, do I get the job or not?
I can't say it because there's a BBC process to be gone through. When we
Look,
say
you're
that-
bigger than the BBC.
I know.
You're bigger than the Nolan show.
But once we...
Are you telling me that hedgehogs scratch themselves?
All the time.
I don't believe that.
You see, whenever we get rid of Coyle and whenever he resigns and we have a party for him and then
Imagine him complaining about dogs shitting on the bridge.
Well, you see, this is what...
Is that the biggest problem you've got down in Derry?
Yes, apparently at the moment. Listen, one of the reasons why I think it's very sad that Sean is leaving is because he doesn't realise it. Once you know the farewell party that you have, Sean's terrible that you're going. As soon as you walk out the door, they forget about you. And you'll never...
I'll be walking and shaking his hand and saying,
when
happy birthday, baby, I'm getting a new job.
And do you know what happens? See, when you leave, Sean, do you know what happens? You've seen this before. You leave, they'll go, bye, Sean, I'll call in any time. And then you might wait for a few weeks. And then,
They never talk to you for years.
No, what
They
happened?
don't know you.
He doesn't know when to shut up. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
You couldn't bear a boy like that interrupting you all the time.
I hate that.
And then poor Sean will be down talking to men with dogs.
No,
at
whenever
night.
you leave, you see, whenever you leave...
Sean seems to go out at night
keeps
and
interrupting
speak to
you,
a
doesn't
man
he?
about a dog.
You see? See, whenever Sean leaves, you see, and he'd say to himself, and then we'll say, God, good luck, Sean, good. Listen, call in any time. Don't be a stranger. We'd love to see you. Call in any time at all. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, you see, Sean will say to himself, I think I'll just call down to the office, see how everybody is. And then he'll come in and nobody will talk to him because they're too busy.
That's the
And then
truth,
you only
Gerry.
come
That's
back
the way
once
it
and then you
goes.
never come. You see him? See him?
That's
Anyway, fill in we'll send you a form and Sean leaves. Go away now.
I'm not going away.
Yes, you are. Goodbye.
Martin's on one.
Too late.
Okay.
I'm gonna build a rocket and tie it to a tree. I'm gonna launch it skyward, see what can be. I'm gonna take a trip across the plain. I'm gonna build a fire in case of rain. It's gonna be the
That's a song called Conscript. I do believe it is the band we played earlier on. It is indeed called John Edgar Vaux, who are very good. Also, can you please tell me who the band was who sang Plastic Jesus the other day? You played it on your show. Thank you very much. That was Dan Donnelly from an album called Country and Northern. And he will be appearing in this programme on Friday the 29th of July. Friday 9th of July, which is Donnelly Day. Dan Donnelly and Sean Donnelly will be on, the two of them. It's the Donnelly Gathering of the Clan. And may I remind you of a gig? Of course, we realised that our new Peace Bridge in Derry Stoke Londonderry was opened last weekend. There's a special gig tonight to celebrate the opening of that, featuring a gentleman who were in here last Thursday. Paul Casey, of course, very talented, with Liam Bradley on drums and Nicky Scott bass, who are Van Morrison's kind of side men. And there's other kinds of people who's on as well. Of course, Paddy Nash and the Happy Enchiladas, and John Deary, John Deary great when he was on
he was excellent. He's a big talent.
Big talent. Not but taken away from anyone else. But he surprised me because I hadn't really heard him before. No, sometimes you don't hear anybody and they just kind of slap you up the face. Well, I didn't do that physically. That'll be later. I know you've regretted resigning today, haven't you?
I haven't resigned.
Oh yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Oh yes, you have. I think maybe perhaps next Friday. That should be it. No, you've done it on the air.
I said I was thinking about the seed was planted.
We've already had job applications.
Yeah, but you turned him down.
I know, but that was because I wanted to wait until your party, which will be next Friday night. Not tomorrow night, we'll give you a week's notice. I mean, that's all you should expect. I mean, people in the public sector would turn up their nose about the private sector. Is different, Private sector. Well, this isn't. Is this the back? I don't know. Is this the public sector or private sector? No, this is the public sector.
All I know is Martin's waiting to talk to you.
Is this the public sector or the private sector? Public sector is the BBC.
BBC supposed to be public. That's
It's not public, is it really?
Why is it not?
It's not like working in a hospital. I mean, if I ever
what's the hospital? That's public.
Of course it is. NHS.
Yes.
Civil service. Are we civil servants?
Oh, what's the private? Civil service?
Private is DuPont. Private sector is DuPont and people who make money.
BOC.
People who make money, yeah. People who are businesses, who have to pay tax and stuff. Heard of that? Yeah. People who pay tax and that actually make things and sell them, which is what 95% of the population of Ulster don't do. That's because of the troubles, you see. We're all institutionalised. We all work for the public sector and try and dodge helping each other.
What about the phone call?
What phone call?
On one.
Really? Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm under a lot of pressure today. The staff have resigned.
Well, I think you'll come through during New Year.
I don't know. See, once you resign, you can't go back. Can't go back. It's like putting the toothpaste out of the tube. It's hard to get it back in again. Sean, I'm sorry.
Well, just play good music like you generally do, Gerry, and you'll be okay.
Do you know how you get shampoo back into the bottle?
No, tell me.
Did you ever squeeze too much shampoo under your hand when you were showering?
I'm sure I've done that, yes.
And you say, look.
I've never put it back in again.
You just squeeze the bottle gently, right? And then put the nozzle, the top of the bottle, into the what do you call it, the shampoo, and release it. Then it sucks it back in again.
Do you mean to say that if you put too much shampoo in your hand, you put it back in the bottle?
What else would you do with it? If it's all running through your fingers. Eh?
Use it anyway. Just slap it on your head or wherever, your bum or whatever. Just slap it on you.
Do you know, just squeeze the bottle. I discovered that about 2 days. Just 2 days ago. I said, look at that, they're scooting out like that. And it was all...
You're the only person I know would ever try and put shampoo back in a bottle because you put too much out.
And I just squeezed the bottle gently and put it in and watched it all...
I'm glad you're resigning because you're losing your marbles. Who's this man I'm talking to?
Martin,
what do you want?
It's Martin Mullen from Stripes and Stars, Gerry. Very surreal conversation.
Of course, Martin. How are you?
I'm very well.
You're doing something quite important. I'm fine, thanks. Tell me what it is.
Well, we're trying to bring a bit of culture to Derry, and it's going to be happening this weekend.
Yes.
We have 17 acts over 6 venues, and it's going to happen on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd. It's called Stripes and Stars, and we have the likes of the Lowly Knights, the Heads of State, Murder Balladeers, and Wickle Lily, 1930s, Captain Kennedy, etc. A lot of Americana-based bands from Northern Ireland, and also a couple from America.
Those are some of the bands who featured at the Open House Festival last weekend, and they were great.
Absolutely.
Lonely Nights are, in particular, excellent. Those other bands, that's a great lineup. So tell me more about the weekend.
Okay, well, it's 17 acts in 6 venues. We also have a screening of the last picture show to sort of make it a little bit more cross-cultural. And what we're basically trying to do is have across the city. So we have it in the Waterside Theatre on Friday night. We have 3 acts playing that night with the Lowly Nights. Porch Song Anthology from Glasgow, who also has a Derry singer called Rachel Devine, and also Rachel Austin will be singing that night as well with her band.
She's brilliant.
Then, yeah, she's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And she's really making a lot of waves right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Saturday we start off at 2:00 in the Nerve Centre. We have Sullivan and Gold, which is really a new version of Ben Robinson's band from Coleraine. And we also have, after that, we have Wickalilly and the Heads of State. Then we also have a number of other venues where there's individual acts like the Sons of Caliber and Acoustic Dan in places like the Delacroix and Bound for Boston, etc. And then that night we have 1930s. We have Captain Kennedy and the Murder Balladeers finishing off in the Nerve Centre.
So
it's all going to be a really exciting weekend, and this is our first. This is our inaugural festival, so we're all excited. And thank you very much for the opportunity. By the way, can I just mention the website?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, the website is just for for basic information and for the bios of each of the bands. So it's www.stripesandstars.co.uk, and we have a special £10 ticket for the weekend, so you can get to see anything, and we have also a lot of free gigs within that.
And those places you mentioned, Bound for Boston, of course, there are pubs in Derry. And the interesting thing about this is really that this is the first time that we'll see the Peace Bridge in action as an aid to stretching out the city centre, because venues beforehand. So if the venues beforehand in the waterside area of the city were quite difficult to get to, so that's they felt left out. But now you can just tootle across the bridge. Fantastic.
Yeah. So after Friday night, the people will be able to walk across the bridge and go to the other bars, etc., or vice versa. So I think it's a great opportunity to use the Peace Bridge.
Well, everybody will be using the Peace Bridge except Sean Coyle, who doesn't like it. But I mean,
that's a sin.
What?
That's a sin.
No, you don't like it because there's too much stuff on it out of dogs.
I know. Apart from that, but what's all this? The waterside so hard to get. We've actually got 4 bridges now. You know what I mean? What's
so
this?
Did you ever say to yourself, standing in the city centre, I think there's a bar on the waterside called Duke's. I think I'll go over to Duke's for a pint. Did you ever walk over?
Yeah.
No, you never did.
I have walked to the golf club.
I know, but you're not a normal person.
I've walked to the golf club.
No, but you patrol the place at night
I walk out to Brigade.
I know, that's
club, ask any of the boys out there. I walk out there of a summer's night.
Not. People aren't like you're like some kind of night watchman. But people aren't like that. People don't walk miles and miles.
I walked to Elton Gavin Hospital.
I know you did, but you're a weirdo. Do you not understand that? Yeah. You're a weirdo. Nobody else does that. You have no dog or nothing. People are afraid when they see you coming. This man walking, staring into the middle distance, striding out, going nowhere. Yeah. But the point is, nobody will stand in the city centre and say, I think I'll go over to Waterside now and have a pint, because it's too far. But now it's not too far.
What's this too far?
It's too far. It's up 2 miles to walk.
Let's get...
Has Sean used it yet?
No, he was on it, but he said it was too dirty.
I think it's brilliant.
Let's get an airport on the Derry side so we can fly.
Brilliant, of course it's brilliant. I'm going to turn him off. Me and you'll just talk. It's
I just think it's a lovely design, and it's nice wee ambient walk up into St. Colm's Park there. It's lovely.
It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, encourage everyone to come along this weekend, because this is the first weekend where there's going to be, a kind of a normal weekend. There's a lot of hoopla last weekend, but people come this weekend, go to all those gigs, and and even go to Donegal, for God's sake. There's a whole Dylan Fest going on in Moville as well. It's a whole Northwest. Come up to the Northwest.
Are you going to come over, Gerry?
No. Yes, of course I am. Of course I am.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. Which side are you going to come to?
I haven't been on the bridge yet.
Come over to the Waterside tomorrow night. We'll look after you.
Okay, then. Well, I might be there tomorrow night, but I'll definitely be there on Saturday.
Well, I really look forward to seeing you anyway, Gerry, and thanks for the opportunity.
Not at all. So just sum that up again before we go. What's happening?
Okay. Well, we have 17 acts. We have 1 movie, 6 different venues. The main venues will be the Nerve Centre and the Waterside Theatre, and really the there's a £10 weekend ticket, and you can purchase the tickets either in the Waterside Theatre, Nair Centre, or online. So all you have to do is go on the website www.stripesandstars.co.uk, and you'll find out all the information on all the individual bands, etc.
Stripes and
We're really
Stars.
looking forward to this. This is our first year, and we're sort of we've done a lot of planning, and we got together, and we're a bunch of novices and amateurs at this. But it's been exciting, and we're just really grateful for all the bands to get involved as well and engaging with the whole thing, So we're looking forward to it.
I hope it's a great success, and we urge everyone to come up and have a look at it. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thanks,
you. Gerry.
Bye. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I get up in the evening and I don't have nothing to say. I come home in the morning feeling the same way. I'm nothing but tired, just tired and bored with myself. Hey there, honey, I could use a little help. You can't start a fire, can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark.
That's a surprise, isn't it?
It's great.
The message keeps getting clearer. Radio's on and I'm moving around my place. I check my look in the mirror. Wanna change my clothes, my hair and my face. I ain't getting nowhere. Just living in a dump like this. There's something happening somewhere. Honey, I just know there is. You can't start a fire, can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. I sit around getting older. If there's a joke out there, the joke's on me. I shake the world off my shoulders. Hey baby, the laugh's on me. Stuck in Maggie's England, they'll be carving you up alright. They say you've got to stay hungry. Well, I'm just about starving tonight, working for the grocer's daughter. I just can't feel proud of myself. We came like lambs to the slaughter. Now we're just stock upon a shelf. You won't start a fire, won't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Can't start a fire, sitting crying with a broken heart. This gun's for hire, even if we're just dancing in the dark.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, to bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in the canebrake by an old mama lion. Can't no high-toned woman make me walk the line. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Oh, that's a great song. That's Tennessee Ernie Ford. That's a song called 16 Tons. It's good, that, isn't it?
That's excellent.
Oh, I love
but
that.
But what about the man, Eugene?
I don't know who that was before. I really don't know. It's
That was
Dancing in the
great.
Dark. Obviously recorded during the 80s. Lots of reference to Maggie Thatcher. You know, it's a protest song, and I don't know who it is. It's part of a collection I got. I have no idea. If anybody knows who it is, please let me know. And that Tennessee Ernie Ford song, 16 Tons, is on a very unusual compilation by Tom Watts, all his favourite songs. It's called Step Right Up. And it's very unusual. Do you know what's on this? Big Mama Thornton. A song called Ball and Chain. Big Mama Thornton. Do you know, I met Big Mama Thornton.
What about Eugene?
Excuse me?
Eugene.
I'm talking about Big Mama Thornton.
How about Eugene's waiting?
We have no time to talk to you.
Eugene was waiting. How long was Eugene waiting, John? 12 minutes.
Big Mama Thornton wrote Hound Dog.
Why couldn't you just talk to Eugene and tell Eugene that?
Do you not think people want to hear about
Yeah,
Big,
but if
Big
you
Mama
if,
Thornton?
if you would incorporate
Where is he?
Eugene, and I was on 2.
Eugene.
Morning, Gerry.
Big Mama Thornton wrote Hound Dog. And I was sitting talking to her one time about 1972 in a hotel in America. And I said,
Yeah.
well, you wrote Hound Dog, didn't you? She said, I wrote Hound Dog. I said, must have made you a very wealthy woman. She said, I got $20. I got $20.
I have another interesting fact for you, Gerry.
Go ahead.
I received an email a few weeks ago that stated that the month of July 2011, there are 5 Thursdays, 5 Fridays, and 5 Saturdays.
Yes.
This happens once every 823 years.
Right.
If you take, Gerry, if you take the last 2 digits of the year you were born,
We're not going down this road, are
Go
we?
on.
All right, then.
and add it to the last to the age you will be this year.
Yes.
You will discover when you add up the 2 about 111.
Absolutely right.
That applies to everybody in the world this year, Gerry.
That's a mathematical certainty.
A mathematical certainty. Also, I want to thank Sean for the tip about the shampoo.
There you are. Thank you.
You mean there are people out there who will actually do that? Squeeze their...
The people are texting in saying they're surprised that I didn't know about that.
Gerry.
People, why don't you just slap it on your head and get more?
Gerry.
What?
Do you remember a man in the music business in Oma, Tommy Doran?
Yes, I do, actually.
Tommy was known as Oma's Johnny Cash.
That's right.
He played along with a gentleman called Wooly McCutcheon.
Don't know him now.
Wooly once interviewed Hank Snow, and Wooly has also graced the boards of the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
A very talented man, now in his late 60s, early 70s.
Men from Oma on the Ryman Auditorium.
Say again?
Men from Oma in the Ryman Auditorium. That's the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, right. How can we get that man onto your show?
I don't know.
You apply for the job.
Well,
Also, by the way, the BBC bosses should do everything in their power to hold on to Sean Coyle.
Well, they'll do everything except give him money. Cheerio. Goodbye. I had to leave him because somebody in Belfast has done something again.
What did they do?
Everything I say, I hear it twice.
It's Wendy. Let's blame Wendy.
It's
I hear
Wendy's
it
fault.
now.
It's Wendy's fault. I'll be back tomorrow morning with live music. I love the back in the morning with live music. Goodbye.
Too much coffee, I think, Gerry. Thanks very much for that. 12 o'clock, it's Talkback with Wendy Austin.